The unyielding, salt-laced wind, a constant companion on his maritime journeys, whipped through Prince Alaric's meticulously styled golden hair, sending individual strands dancing with a restless energy around his finely chiseled features, momentarily disrupting the regal composure he usually maintained. He stood with an almost statuesque stillness at the very bow of his magnificent flagship, the Sea Serpent, a vessel celebrated and renowned throughout all the coastal kingdoms for its unparalleled speed. Its sleek, almost predatory design and the intricate, remarkably lifelike carvings of mythical and real marine creatures that adorned its gleaming hull, each detail a testament to the finest craftsmanship in the realm. Unlike his elder brother's crown Prince Gareth, his booming laugh and boisterous boasts echoed boisterously through the ancient castle halls after a successful jousting tournament. Man of hearty appetites and straightforward ambition, or the cunning Prince Liam, whose days were meticulously and silently consumed by the delicate, often treacherous dance of courtly intrigue and the quiet, far-reaching machinations of political power. A master of whispers and veiled intentions, Alaric found his truest solace, his most profound sense of peace and belonging, not within the grand echoing halls of their ancestral home, with their tapestries and shadowed corners, but in the boundless, ever-shifting expanse of the sea. His keen eyes, often described by wandering poets and adoring courtiers as possessing the exact luminous color of a clear morning sky after a cleansing and refreshing rain, were perpetually and intently scanning the shimmering, seemingly endless surface of the water, drawn by a profound, almost aching yearning for something that lay just beyond the familiar, predictable safety of the gilded walls of the castle and the often stifling, suffocating rhythms of royal life. Today, that yearning felt particularly strong, an insistent, almost painful ache in his chest, a palpable premonition of profound and irreversible change hanging in the air, as heavy and inescapable as the salty ocean mist that kissed his skin and clung to his eyelashes. He felt a burgeoning sense of anticipation, a thrilling yet unsettling feeling, as if the very air around him hummed with an unspoken promise, a secret waiting to be revealed. As the sun, that celestial orb of fire and light, began its majestic, daily descent towards the western horizon, it embarked on its timeless ritual of painting the vast expanse of the sky in ever-deepening and breathtaking hues of fiery orange, passionate crimson, and molten gold, each shade bleeding seamlessly into the next. Each individual ripple on the water's surface, no matter how small or fleeting, became a living, breathing brushstroke of light, creating a shimmering, ethereal path that stretched seemingly endlessly across the vast, mysterious ocean, beckoning him onward into the unknown, promising wonders and perhaps dangers in equal measure. It was precisely then, amidst this breathtaking, uninspiring spectacle of nature's unbridled artistry, that a strange, exquisitely melodic song unlike any terrestrial sound he had ever encountered in his 25 years of privileged life drifted across the seemingly infinite expanse of the ocean. It was a haunting, ethereal blend of profound lament and gentle, soothing lullaby, weaving together a complex tapestry of emotions so intricate and deeply felt that it resonated with a startling familiarity deep within his very soul, as if he had known this melody in a forgotten dream. Every single note, clear and pure as a polished pearl, seemed to pluck a hidden chord within him, a sudden sharp recognition of a beauty so profound, so utterly otherworldly, that he hadn't even conceived it could exist within the earthly realm. The melody wrapped around him like an invisible, silken net, intangible, yet utterly compelling, drawing him further and further into its enchanting thrall, making him momentarily forget the weight of his crown, the duties of his station, the very air he breathed, until only the sound remained. Against the vibrant, breathtaking backdrop of the fiery sunset, a vision of unearthly beauty, a creature seemingly born of myth and legend, materialized before his astonished and disbelieving eyes. She was perched with an almost supernatural, ethereal grace on a jagged, sharp outcrop of obsidian rock that jutted precariously from the churning, restless waves, her slender, graceful form silhouetted dramatically and perfectly against the vibrant, dying light, a stark yet harmonious contrast. Her tail, a living, breathing cascade of shimmering emerald and sapphire scales, each one catching and refracting the last rays of the sun, caught the light with an almost magical quality, reflecting it back in a dazzling kaleidoscopic display that danced and shimmered before his widened eyes, a living, breathing jewel against the gray stone. Her hair was the color of sea foam, a pale, almost luminous white that seemed to possess its own inner light, floating around her slender shoulders and delicate back, like a wispy cloud unbound and wild moving with the phantom currents of the air as if it possessed a life of its own. And her eyes, even from the considerable distance that separated the sturdy ship from the lonely rock, seemed to hold the vast, measurable depths of the ocean itself, bottomless pools of swirling blues and greens that hinted at untold secrets, ancient wisdom, and the fathomless mysteries that lay beneath the waves. She continued to sing, her voice carrying an ancient magic, a primal resonance that vibrated through the very timbers of his mighty ship, thrumming against the soles of his leather boots and settled deep within his chest, stirring something dormant, something primal and long forgotten within the deepest recesses of his being. Alaric, usually composed and reserved, a prince renowned for his quiet contemplation, his unwavering control over his emotions, and his sharp analytical intellect, felt an unfamiliar, overwhelming pull, a breathtaking wonder that stole his very breath and rooted him to the spot, rendering him momentarily speechless and immobile. He found himself leaning further over the intricately carved railing, utterly captivated, his gaze locked onto the mesmerizing mermaid, utterly incapable of tearing his eyes away from her enchanting form. With a voice he barely recognized as his own, a mere, husky whisper against the combined sounds of the wind and the crashing waves, he urgently ordered the seasoned helmsman, a grizzled veteran of countless sea voyages, to immediately slow the ship, his entire being focused solely on the captivating creature before him. The experienced crew, accustomed to their prince's calm demeanor and measured, precise commands, exchanged surprised, questioning glances, their own curiosity and wonder, now thoroughly piqued by the prince's uncharacteristic intensity and the haunting, beautiful melody that now reached their own ears, weaving its spell upon them as well. They had never before witnessed their usually stoic and seafaring prince so utterly transfixed, so completely enthralled. The mermaid, whose given name within the intricate melodic language of her people was Lyra, had been steeped in tales of caution and imminent danger regarding the surface world and its strange inhabitants, since she was a tiny guppy, barely capable of propelling her delicate form through the vibrant coral gardens of her home reef. Her grandmother, a wise and ancient elder, with eyes that held the deep, profound wisdom of the ocean's currents and the secrets of countless tides, had patiently recounted countless chilling stories of the surface world and its air-breathing inhabitants, of cruel, heartless fishermen with their deadly ensnaring nets that dragged her kin to their doom, of colossal, monstrous ships that carelessly brought destruction and devastation to their peaceful, intricate reefs, and of the insatiable, often destructive curiosity of humans that invariably led to immense tragedy and profound sorrow for the merfolk. These warnings were not merely cautionary tales passed down through generations. They were woven into the very fabric of their underwater society, recited during communal gatherings, whispered during quiet moments, a constant, chilling reminder of the very real perils that lay just above the glittering, deceptive surface of their liquid world. Yet despite these deeply ingrained warnings, a restless spirit pulsed within Lyra. A boundless, often impetuous curiosity about the world beyond her own frequently led her to the treacherous sunlit shallows, especially during the breathtaking spectacle of sunset, when the sky above miraculously mirrored the vibrant, kaleidoscopic colors of the coral reefs below, creating a breathtaking panorama that rivaled even the most dazzling anemone gardens. Tonight her song was not one of joyful greeting or playful invitation. It was a lament, a mournful expression of a deep-seated longing for a lost melody, a haunting tune. Her beloved mother used to sing to her when she was a small, vulnerable merling, a soothing lullaby of the deep that had inexplicably and cruelly slipped from her memory, leaving a sharp, aching void in its place. So completely engrossed was she in her own sorrowful tune, lost in the melancholic depths of her own poignant memories, that she hadn't even registered the presence of the immense, imposing ship until its vast shadow fell ominously over her sun-drenched rock, momentarily obscuring the vibrant setting sun and plunging her immediate surroundings into an unexpected unsettling gloom. Her song faltered abruptly, a single broken note hanging in the still air, a soft, involuntary gasp of sound escaping her lips. She finally, with a startled jolt, looked up and saw him. And then, her breath catching in her throat, she saw him, a tall, commanding figure standing at the very edge of the deck. His piercing eyes, the clear, startling color of the morning sky, fixed intently and directly upon her, a gaze that seemed to penetrate her very being. Fear, sharp and cold as an Arctic current, pierced through her initial surprise, a primal, visceral instinct to flee, to disappear, to dive deep into the protective, comforting embrace of the dark, familiar ocean depths. But beneath that immediate, overwhelming instinct for self-preservation, a tiny, persistent spark of something entirely different ignited within her. An undeniable, inexplicable fascination, a magnetic pull so strong it momentarily overrode her ingrained caution and centuries of inherited fear. She felt an immediate, almost electric connection to this surface dweller. An echo of unfamiliar, yet strangely compelling emotions she couldn't readily name, a profound resonance that defied all logic and deeply ingrained fear. As the magnificent ship, the Sea Serpent, continued its stately approach, its sharp bow cutting cleanly through the gentle waves, the foamy spray from its passage reaching her rocky perch, dusting her delicate face with cool, salty droplets that mingled unexpectedly with the unshed tears welling in her luminous eyes. Lyra, with a fluid, effortless grace born of countless generations, spent navigating the intricate currents and hidden pathways of the ocean, slipped silently and swiftly into the water. Her powerful, iridescent tail, a breathtaking tapestry of shimmering emerald and sapphire scales that rippled with an inner light, propelled her smoothly and effortlessly beneath the surface, a fleeting blur of vibrant color disappearing from sight, a precious momentary glimpse of magic vanishing into the blue. Alaric, his own heart pounding a frantic, almost desperate rhythm against his ribs, leaned further over the intricately carved railing, his arm instinctively outstretched as if to grasp the fleeting vision, to desperately hold on to something so beautiful, so captivating that he already felt irrevocably slipping away from him. He caught only a final, tantalizing glimpse of her disappearing form, a flash of her luminous sea-foam-colored hair swirling around her, a final, mesmerizing gleam of her powerful, jewel-toned tail as it vanished into the depths, and then she was gone. Completely swallowed by the vast inscrutable waves, leaving only swirling ripples on the surface and a profound aching sense of inexplicable loss in her wake. The sudden silence that descended upon the water, the abrupt cessation of her enchanting song, felt heavy, oppressive, a deep and profound emptiness that resonated through the twilight air. The vibrant magic that had filled the space just moments before had vanished, leaving behind a stark, almost painful void. He remained standing at the bow for what felt like an eternity, unmoving, his gaze fixed on the spot where she had disappeared long after the first. Few hesitant stars began to emerge in the darkening expanse of the sky, like tiny pinpricks of light in the vast inky canvas above. His mind replayed the fleeting vision of her again and again, each detail etched into his memory like a treasured, looping dream, the luminous sea foam hair, the captivating, ancient eyes that held the secrets of the deep, the haunting melody that still echoed maddeningly in the chambers of his heart, and the undeniable, unspoken connection that had sparked so powerfully between them in those brief, stolen moments. A profound sense of longing and loss settled over him, mingling inextricably with an even more potent surge of unwavering determination. A burning resolve that eclipsed all other thoughts and considerations. He knew, with an absolute certainty that defied all logic, all reason, and all the considerable, weighty expectations and responsibilities of his royal life, that he had to find her again. The sea, once merely a cherished source of adventure and a deeply personal passion, had now irrevocably transformed into something far greater, something all-consuming, a compelling, irresistible quest that would define his every waking moment, haunt his every sleeping dream, and irrevocably alter the carefully charted course of his destiny. He looked out at the vast, shimmering expanse of the ocean, now dark and mysterious under the burgeoning night sky, and a silent, Solemn promise formed on his lips, a deeply personal vow made to himself and to the elusive, enchanting creature who had so swiftly and completely captured his heart. Hey everyone, thank you so much for diving into this first part of Prince Alaric and Lyra's story with me. I hope you enjoyed this little dip into their world. If you did, please hit that like button down below. And don't forget to subscribe to Tales by Abdul for more enchanting stories and fantastical adventures. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this part and what you think will happen next.